Welcome to Karaoke Wine with Jules and Tessa.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I have a surprise.
We have a surprise.
A friend of mine or an acquaintance here in Miami, he just started a new company and he was like, I think this would be a perfect fit for your Karaoke Wine podcast.
Yes.
So we're actually going to open these bad boys up and try them for the first time.
Yeah.
Here. So the company is called Briosa, which is an Italian name or word. And it's a wine seltzer.
Yeah.
It's 90 calories,
Love it. 4% alcohol.
0% sugar, and carbs.
Love it.
So
Blueberry?
I have blackberry and elderflower and rosé.
Yum. I'm lemon and rosé, which I'm sure I'm going to love this.
Yes. And these are super cute. Look at the bottle. Woohoo! I love the color. I just love the whole 90 calories. I'm going to put this on.
Love that sound. Oh, yes. I'll follow your lead. Ooh. Oh, it's cute. Oh my God, I love that they have a cute little tent to
Tint.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, why didn't you just pour the whole thing? All right. Cheers.
Oh,
Ooh, good. Yeah.
so fresh.
Oh, I'm gonna something like that. So, thank you, Briosa.
Yes.
It's only available in Miami as of right now. So, our Miami peeps.
Yes.
I will definitely give you guys suggestions on where to buy it. But this is actually really good, especially when we boat
Yeah.
or pool days and it's hot all the time.
Well, it's just travelable too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like wine, everybody wants like a crisp wine on a hot day. And like
Yes.
this makes it best of both worlds, right? Instead of doing like a vodka seltzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hangover, because the zero sugars,
Yes.
you know, I don't like to be hungover. And I love the can, but I am a wine girl, like glass person. I will literally drink anything out of a wine glass.
And even if she's not drinking, she'll be like, can you put that in a wine glass for me, please?
Bartenders love me. I'm like, oh, can you put that margarita in a wine glass? They're like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like, yes. Everything. Does it just look so classy?
It does.
I'm a classy person.
She is. I'm the trashy one. Weird.
I wasn't gonna say it.
So, just want to circle back to
Okay, wait, hold on. First, we don't do anything until we say. Oh, yeah, there you go. Sorry. My God, man.
welcome.
To Karaoke Wine
Yes.
episode.
4.
I actually like this episode. Let me take a sip.
Yeah. Hello. Bad luck.
I like this topic because right now in the world of social media and all the things that, you know, people are talking about is toxic masculinity. But we're actually not going to talk about toxic masculinity today.
We're not?
No,
What are we talking about? Who's toxic today?
we are.
Oh, shit.
We're
What is out?
Well, to be honest, we have or have not done some toxic things. At least we've thought about doing them, right?
They've crossed those intrusive thoughts, as they call them.
Yes.
They're a little bit scary in our heads.
And we're very honest people, and to say that we're not toxic or we have the ability to be toxic,
Right.
will just be a lie.
Yeah.
So,
This really reminds me, but before we do get into like us being toxic, I just have to do this one story because it's hysterical. I was filling up my car at a gas station, and before I went to fill my tank up or put my credit card in, this gentleman next to me goes, "Hey, do you want me to fill up your gas tank for you?" It's my ex's credit card. His ex credit card. And he literally was like, because he had just swapped the kids out. And he's like, I'm going to basically charging her card
Hold on.
to fill my gas tank.
Wait, hold on. So the guy wanted to pay for your gas.
Yes.
And you found out that it was his ex-wife's credit card?
Yeah, he bold-faced told me it was. Me and my wife just swapped the kids and she has to pay for my gas. It's part of the agreement. So can I fill your tank up too?
Yeah.
But the craziest part about this is this happened to me twice in my life.
The gas? Wait a minute. Where are these guys? Because I knew
It was California. It was in California.
when gas is like $500. Oh, that's even better. He was like, let me get her back. And all the child support I'm paying.
Like, I died. I was like, what? And like, at first, stranger danger. But then I was like, I was in my early 20s. I was like, yes, please. But like, I didn't know my card was going to go through. Just kidding. No offense. But,
I love that story.
It's so good. And twice, 2 different people. Like, me. That's like low key genius.
Okay, well, my story is more toxic than a guy wanting to pay for my gas.
It was just a funny toxic Zen thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, God bless him. I think, I actually give credit where credit's due.
Yes.
Like when you're like, hey, bro, like that was a good one.
I was proud of those moments. And plus, 2 tanks of free gas. Like, I lived in California and he said it was $1 million.
Yeah, totally. So my story is a little bit more toxic.
Her toxic behavior. We'll get into my toxic behavior in a second.
My toxic behavior is funny.
It is. It's like
so I was dating Boca Dad. And it was, one of my love languages is to, I don't even know if I want to say this. One of my love languages is to send like really cute pictures.
Yeah.
To, make them be reminded of who is thinking of them.
Send nudes, please.
They're not nude.
I know. Lingerie.
They're very artistic.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, he gave me a nickname. And I thought it was a really cute idea to personalize some lingerie with the nickname on the lingerie. And I ordered them. They took a very long time to get to my house. And then we decided to part ways. And a week later, they fucking decided to show up at my house. And I was like, well, this is ironic. I do not need this lingerie anymore. Because one, I can't wear it with another person. Because I'm like, what is that? What name is that? And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to explain this one.
Could you imagine trying to explain that one?
Well,
what?
So this is where my toxic trait came into play. I had 2 options. Actually, I had 3. First option was to take the photos they were intended for and to send it to the intended audience, even after we broke up.
Why not?
These were for you. I hope you enjoy your last photo. 2, I wanted to wear them.
Yes.
And send it to his residence because I know where you live.
That was the one I voted for, by the way.
Yeah. And then the third one is the one I actually did, which was nothing.
Yes. And I'm so proud of that growth moment for you.
I mean, at the end of the day, we do know the same people.
Yes.
And I didn't want him to ever be like, this bitch. Actually, I might still do it. No, I'm not.
And we're not going to do it.
I know. But it was just a funny moment of like, I could be toxic and I could do these things. But I was like, no, I'm going to take the high road. I'm just going to keep them in my lingerie drawer forever.
Who knows?
So now I have worn them.
Yeah.
I haven't worn them with anyone. She knows what they look like. Actually, yeah, she knows. They're actually really nice.
They're super nice.
They're super cute.
What an SOL moment on his part.
I know.
Oops.
Anyway.
Oh my God. It's interesting that that was like your toxic moment and that was like your thought process. You know what I mean? I actually, randomly enough, just experienced an incredibly toxic situation, but it wasn't really me, but it was me. So Marissa and I were together the other night, and I was doing something on my Instagram, and it came to light that a guy I had reconnected with earlier this year got married.
The lobbyist.
The lobbyist. And the interesting part about this is when I read their tie the knot, right? That's the wedding website.
Yes.
The time frame.
The announcement, man.
Girl. Let me just say I was in a threesome relationship for 5
And you
years.
didn't even know about it.
Didn't even know about
You
it.
couldn't even reap the benefits.
I didn't even read the benefits, and I'm pissed about that. But I also wanted to share a little bit.
Yeah, what was your response?
Yes. So I didn't reach out to him after I found out this knowledge because my, Pisces nature is deliver the news in an appropriate
But
moment.
I something I am because the Leo nature is
Yeah.
like
Kill or be killed. Roar. Very true. So basically, I waited patiently for this person to reach out to me, knowing that he would eventually.
oh god.
And I just want to read you the little exchange that we had. So the lobbyist says, wishing you a Merry Christmas during this holiday season. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Found an old letter, love letter, FYI, yesterday that you had written me. It was so long, but very sweet to read, though. I'm sorry for reaching out. I know that was your request, but I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, because she put boundaries on this MFer and he broke those boundaries, which is also not okay.
Literally, for
But
us.
this was the perfect opportunity. So what's your
Perfect.
response?
Okay, so I said, happy holidays to you, exclamation point. Oh, and congratulations. Give my best to your beautiful wife and son. Yes, son. Whole ass family.
I just got chills.
I know.
I'm actually speechless, which doesn't really happen. But I'm proud of you.
Right.
Because I will say this. When we do, let me back up.
Yeah.
When things happen to us,
Right.
as women, we do want to fly off the rails and retaliate 100% of the time. I'm only speaking for myself, but I'm a very empathetic person. And I immediately go into the way I want to respond to him, that's going to really hurt his feelings. And I think about, I know you're laughing because I'm a nice person. But it's true. I'm like, oh, I don't want to kill him.
Yeah.
I don't want to annihilate him. I don't want to ruin this. I don't want to. I go down the rabbit hole of things that could happen, and I put his feelings before my own. And I still have a problem doing this, but I am getting better. I do this with all of my relationships, right? But this one, I am so happy that you're like, fuck your feelings. I'm gonna let you know that I know.
Right. No response after, just in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, he respected the boundaries.
Oh yeah. He was like, oh, snap. Okay. Speaking of Snapchat is how he communicated. I should have known.
Yeah, because those delete after like 24 hours. Were you born yesterday?
Well, that's one of the reasons I set the boundary, because I was on Instagram and this girl's like, if there's a guy using Snapchat, honey, run. There was other reasons I set the boundary as well, because, I had just gotten out of the other very toxic relationship that I was in.
Eunuch.
We're
talking about you, eunuch.
talking about you, eunuch.
And how are you going to let me talk about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, why don't you share this portion about how...
Okay, so this guy, I can only talk about what happened to her afterwards.
Yes.
Because Marissa and I, along with other friends, were actually there picking up the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the ultimate gaslighter. When you only tell your significant other a story, knowing that they were drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and then they start believing that story, and then they have that figment of their imagination or history in their mind as being true, you're now self-reflecting on who you are as a person based on things that never happened or they didn't occur in the way that he said it did.
Yes.
Which ultimately broke you down. And if anyone knows Tessa and who she is on this podcast, she's a very strong, opinionated person. Yes. After this relationship, she was a shell of a human.
Yeah. Like the worst. Like he basically took all of my vulnerability and my investment in him and sharing parts of me that I've never really shared with anybody. And he essentially melted them down into bullets, into a gun, and just took.
I mean, I always say like shots fired.
Yeah.
He definitely took his shots and you were bleeding out.
Yeah.
And that's when you ultimately decided to leave, is when he kicked you out of the hotel room in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
No one's
like that.
ever thrown me out of a hotel room. But hold on, this segment, this is gonna be a little bit of a Jules tangent.
Go, girl.
Because I never get to do it.
She never gets to do it. I'm so excited.
I know. So her hotel story leads into my hotel story, but it's really not mine. It's my girlfriend's. She came into Miami with her guy that she was dating, and she really wanted me to meet him. And I'm always nice to whoever is dating my girlfriend as long as they're making them happy.
Right.
So we go out. We happen to like go to his like business dinner, or it was like a holiday party, whatever. And I'm having the best time ever, as usual. And they're just arguing and arguing. And then afterwards we went to 11. And if you don't know what 11 is, it's like a, a club with dancers. So we're at 11 and me and her are minding our own business. And all of a sudden he like is holding the hands, like the girl's hand and like in front of her face. And I was like, okay, this is just not okay. And she gets in a fight with him and he kicks her out of the hotel room. So we decide to leave and go back to the hotel room. And we decide to clear out the hotel minibar.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't clear it out. We just took all the high-priced items, like the Class Azul.
Yeah.
And the 1942.
As you should.
And the Tito's.
Oh, girl.
I mean, we took it all.
We took it all.
And then
No.
a week later, he was like, did you take alcohol from the bar? Because I got a $1,500 bill. We're like, she's like, no, that's crazy. I would never do such a thing.
It's kind of like a no spirit left behind moment.
I like that. So yeah, so it's a thing that guys do. I don't operate in that world. I think that's not what men do. That's what boys do.
I never experienced something like that before.
Yeah.
I've never experienced, I mean, listen, I may be a little bit more novice when it comes to relationships, but like I have some pretty great examples of what partnerships look like within my friends. And I will tell you right now, not one man in my life ever exhibited any type of behavior like that.
Yeah.
Like drunk in Vegas, first of all, yes, like we were drinking. It was cherry on top, it was my birthday.
Yeah. No, like
It was bad.
if I ever have a kill list and the purge is happening, we did the purge for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
You would be on my list.
And
I don't condone violence. It's never going to happen because I'm a nice person and true and like through and through, like, no.
It's interesting though, because when we, think about that, like I'm so indifferent about the situation. Like it literally did break me, but
It's good that you're indifferent now, but it took a long
it did.
time.
It did. It took a long time. And I'm so grateful. Like everybody, I like don't ever want to wish a toxic relationship on anyone, but like who I am today and what I recognize coming out of that, I would never put myself through that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that there's something to be said about the worst moments, as we've talked about, creating the best version of yourself. And yes, I'm still a work in progress. Yes, I'm still learning how not to be as toxic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he really put me through the ringer, and that's who he is. And like has nothing to do with me. And the craziest thing is that he's such a good friend, but no one sees him behind closed doors, which is interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the mask comes off.
I will say this. In my past relationship when I was engaged, we were not toxic for a very long time until we were toxic. And then you're in this like tornado that you can't really get out of.
Yeah.
And I take 50% responsibility of the toxic behavior in that relationship. 100%.
Right.
And it was a vicious cycle until you finally realize I got to get off the train.
Yeah.
Because it's not helping you and it's not helping me. So much so that when we broke up, the year following our breakup, we were such dependent on each other that we were talking every day. We were, it was just not healthy. And then finally we realized that we weren't going to get back together. And then we blocked each other of everything, social media, communications on text, everything. Like it was like, you don't get to see what I'm doing in my life and I don't get to see what you're doing in yours. And that's when you really start to rebuild yourself and grow from it. And I think that when you're in a healthy relationship, it starts off as healthy. Like when you go to school, everyone starts off with an A. Everyone starts off with an A. And then it's up to you to stay with the A, do the homework, do the work. But then if you don't do the work, you don't do any of it, you don't show up to class, you fucking fail.
You do.
Yeah.
Or you sleep with the professor and get an A.
Okay. Well, I did not do that. I did the work. We are not.
I've
not this thing.
also never done that either, you guys.
No, she's just
nice. But I think there's something to be said, right? Like, also, just as a reminder, this no contact that she did with her ex-fiance, 13-year relationship. Remember, there were kids involved. Like, she walked away from her whole ass family that she had been with for, basically more than she'd been alive at that point. So it's true, right? You met 20
and I was 33.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a really big deal.
Not my life.
I think that one of the things that you said, you have to be able to work on yourself and rebuild yourself up. But toxic behavior still comes back, right? Like, even when, I'm dating Feather and Charm and something happened where we were with him actually, and I started talking very negatively towards him, like just a certain tone, and it was like regurgitation from things that I hadn't said to you, Nick. And you checked me.
I did check you.
Yeah.
I even took videos of you.
Yeah.
I wanted to send them to you the day after and have you reflect. Because sometimes I could tell you something and you'd be like, well, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, oh, well, I have proof.
Yeah.
So you got checked.
I did.
And you did self-reflect.
And I apologized and I owned it and I was accountable and I shared a little bit about the past relationship with him so he could have a better understanding. And then, all of this stuff with the lobbyists that just happened, Feather and Charm was having a moment. So then
now I have two people on for.
Right.
Do you realize that all my exes I'm actually friends with except for one, but I through and through I believe that unless you really did something dirty to me, there's always a way back.
And I agree with that.
The lobbyist is not coming back.
Oh, no. And I want to make a little disclaimer here. I do not feel special because this married man with a child reached out to me. I am one of probably many. It had nothing to do with me. I was just somebody that he thought he could reach out to and get away with it. Mm-hmm. I did not feel special or flattered in any capacity. And I had extreme ick.
Well, let's just hold on. This guy took away your choice in choosing what you wanted in your life.
Right.
So for you, if you would have known any of this, you would have never gone down that path.
Never engaged with him at all.
Exactly.
Never.
So he took that away from you.
Right.
Point blank, period, full stop.
Yeah.
Now, when you were talking about past behavior, going into a new relationship, and it starts off healthy. Everything starts off healthy. You start off with an A.
Yeah.
Boca Dad was sending me like flowers and I miss you and like lingerie. And I was like,
wait. Literally, he texted her good morning and she texts me. She goes, "What's his problem?" I was like, "He's being nice to you."
then he sends me flowers and said, I miss you. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, a red flag is a guy being nice and healthy and liking me. And I was like, I'm not prepared.
Same thing. This other toy was like so nice. Like literally, I don't know what to do because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm a rusted, intense person. And he's just like sweet and genuine and thoughtful.
He is a really nice.
He's a really nice, he's a really genuine, nice person so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guy that I'm dating right now, he doesn't have a nickname yet.
Yeah.
But he is the kind of guy that doesn't let me open any door.
Mm-hmm.
Not even to the Uber.
Yeah.
He's like, do not get out of the car. I'm opening the door. I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Pulls out the chair, stands up when I go to the bathroom. He's very gentlemanly like, and I love it. I'm eating it with a spoon now.
Yeah.
Like, hell yes, give me more. And now you're going to like get the Jules is like, where is my good morning?
Yeah.
And I have done that to him.
Yes, she has actually.
I have done that. I was like, he did not text me good morning. Like, what is wrong? Is he like, does he even like me anymore?
Oh, wait. Yes. That's
Yeah,
he goes. Yes. Yeah.
So now we're figuring it out.
You know, like we are, again.
We're deprogramming ourselves.
Yes.
To not be the toxic person in a healthy relationship.
Yes.
And we're also trying to be the loving, healthy people. We are trying to be, and we are in these healthy relationships. Like, we now want the nice guy. When we were younger, we wanted the bad boy.
And the asshole. Like, I can't tell you, I have never, like, even with Feather and Charm, let's just say it doesn't work out. Like, he's a better person that I've been looking for than anyone I've ever dated. So, like, you even said on one episode, like, if it takes 10 guys and the 11th guy's the guy, great. Every single person has led me to finally figure out that, like, I do want somebody calm and thoughtful and sweet. And, like, he made us salads to go when we were leaving.
I know.
Because he's like, just in case you, like, get hungry. And like, who does that?
Not me.
No.
Ever. Like, I'm just never going to be that person. Unless I have kids. I did do that with kids. Like, no.
But we were both,
when you're sick, come to your age.
Yes, 100%. And you need, I'll show up with 2 bottles of wine. Anyone's crying, I'm like in my car in 5 minutes.
She's the perfect person. Yeah. Like, I'm on my way.
Wine's getting delivered.
And then we're drunk and dancing in my living room.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
So basically what we're saying is we are deprogramming ourselves and we're getting better. And it's working because, thank goodness, I feel like we're meeting healthier people as well.
But we're also choosing
better.
Yes. Yeah. And I will say, sorry to cut you off. I tend to do that a lot.
I go on tangent, she cuts me off. It's like,
yeah. When I say we're dating the nice guy and we dated the bad boys, I wanna say this. Every aspect of anyone that I've ever dated has had a bad boy something in them. You have to be a bad boy when it comes to business.
Yeah.
You have to be some sort of like animal.
Yeah.
Because I'm attracted to the guy that gets shit done. But I want you to be nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be a nice person. You need to treat the wait staff nice. Like, that's a huge...
Right.
Like, if you're nice to a waiter or a server or however you want to describe them, it goes a long way. And that is like a big thing in my life. It's you have to be a nice guy through and through.
Right. Well, because we treat everyone with equal respect. You and I are like really, really, and Jules even checks me a lot because sometimes I make inappropriate comments weird. And she's like, no, we're not doing that. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be funny. Well, it wasn't. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Time and place.
Yeah. But when it comes to anybody who is waiting on me or even my Uber driver,
You're really good with that.
yeah, like I get their name immediately. Now we're going on.
I was just thinking that.
I caught myself this time, guys. The point is that we're working on it.
Yes.
We're doing better.
And we're not choosing toxicity.
No, yes, we are choosing to. It's not necessarily being the bigger person. It's walking away from things that aren't working versus trying to force something to work and hindering our own emotional intelligence or our emotional well-being, really. So it really,
And we're giving these nice guys not a chance because we do want to end up with a nice guy. We really do. It's recognizing that they're nice.
right.
We're recognizing that it's a new relationship and we're starting with an A.
Yes.
And we're recognizing who we are to this day and not choosing the old behaviors because it's really hard when you're programmed to snap when someone snaps at you and you're just like, this is how we're going to communicate.
Right.
I want to not yell.
Like we have conversations with these people, like real, right. Okay. Are we on the same page? Like you're very upfront. I'm very upfront too, as we've talked about, but like with the people, you know, we had the right conversations.
But I even talk to my ex differently now that I have learned so much and grown so much, is that we communicate on a way different hemisphere than when we were together.
Ooh.
And we're now adulting.
Yes. We're not waking up and choosing violence anymore.
No.
At least not every day.
Not every day. We're not burning it down.
Sometimes our feet hit the floor in the devil.
And we do. I know. She's away.
She's away.
But that's not to say it's not in us. And sometimes it does have to come out
Yeah.
to, chat people. But we're choosing not to be that person and to lead with love and acceptance and communication and checking ego at the door.
Right.
Because if you want to be with someone long term,
which we both want. Like we're dating with intention, not attention.
Ooh.
No.
I know. Intention, not attention.
Yeah, like I don't need your attention. I want your intention.
I know. Why does she have to come up with all the good things?
I may have watched it from a relationship therapist. Thank you for the content.
All right. Well,
but it's so true.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for my forever person. And again, if it takes a couple people to get there, great. If it doesn't, even better. But I'm ready to start. I'm done with the stories. I want the next chapter of the book to be longevity. I want to create the memories. I've always been the story girl. Like, oh my God, but did you die?
I mean, we have a lot of good stories, and I do believe in making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have advice to someone if you haven't done it yourself. You can't have these experiences if you haven't done the mistakes.
Right.
And I truly believe in living fully and honestly and jumping off the proverbial cliff sometimes.
Yes.
You just never know where you're going to end up. But you have a story to tell. And I know that having stepkids and now wanting a child of my own, those stories are going to help me shape these little humans.
Yes.
And obviously what to do, what not to do. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you need to also live your life. I'm just going to make sure you're not in jail or killed anybody or yourself.
Yes, true.
But I truly, wholeheartedly believe live it.
Live it. And to your point, right? To give advice, I always think about when I'm going through the hardest times in my life. Every single time afterward, somebody very near and dear to me goes through something very similar. So it allows me to provide what I did, not necessarily like what they need to do, but to show the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like hard things are supposed to happen to get you to where you're going. Because if we didn't have hard things, we couldn't appreciate the things that are easy and meant for us. And that's just really what it is.
I love that you said that because this past year, I went through a very hard financial hit.
Yeah.
And I complained, not to everyone, but I did complain to one person in particular. And he said to me, he's like, when you were good, you were good. You weren't evolving. You were just floating through life, shopping, buying all the things, blah, blah, blah. But now that you're going through this situation, you have reevaluated your life. You have budgeted yourself. You have done things that you haven't done. Like you thought outside the box of like what to do instead of like just going out and spending hundreds of dollars on dinner.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like I actually have grown a lot in that 6-month span of like the little struggle that I had versus just like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just good. I don't have to like evaluate anything. I'm just doing fine. Well, I don't want to just do fine. And I appreciate the struggles. And we talked about that in episode 3 of sitting in the darkness and appreciating it and reevaluating and learning from the lessons that we have lived. So, yeah.
It's so true. But, you know, at the end of the day,
What do we say?
Carpe diem, bitches. Yeah. I'm even a right. Is the blueberry one that good?
Yeah. You want to try it?
Yeah. I was just going to get one, but yeah, I'll do this too.
You more.
Ooh.
I hope you liked this episode of Karaoke Wine. Please like and subscribe.